Queen with Soft Thigh Boutique. I took African Ancestry DNA test and my results came back, drum roll, that my direct maternal lineage, Fulani and Yoruba. Usually people don't get mixed results like that, but it literally says Fulani and Yoruba tribes from Nigeria. I actually thought that it was going to be from technically Nigeria is the Senegambian region, but I thought it was going to be more so like Senegal, Mali, Niger, areas like that, or even maybe the Congo because of my Louisiana roots. But I do have to say this. There was a point in time, and I may release that video again, but there was a point in time where I was really huge into genealogy. So much so I was losing sleep. I was losing sleep. It was really bad. And thankfully, I'm not against genealogy, but it's not going to be me going to conferences, being a part of associations or anything like that anymore, because of prior to getting the results of this test, there were some things that were spiritually revealed to me about my maternal lineage, to the point where, for me, as long as I know who I am going forward, I don't really care to know about the rest of them. I really don't. And I have to be clear cut and honest about that. But I do know, of course, it's me, the woman who gave birth to me, my mother, my grandmother, my great grandmother, my great great grandmother, and then my great 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 grandmother. So I do have the records as far back as my great 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 grandmother. And her name was Julia, and she was from the Carolinas. So it makes sense that it will probably, because the Carolinas was a huge port. And I'm not indigenous, not Native American, never claimed to be any of that. I do not live in delusion. I am not delusional. And to be honest, I don't care about being indigenous or whatever to this land. The cold hard facts: Black Americans, okay, the Africans who was transported on the slave ships, on them boats, took that boat ride during the transatlantic slave trade. They physically built this country into what it is. Okay, despite the folks who was here before they was forced over here. And I'm not taking away from what happened to those folks. I'm not at all, but you cannot dispute it. And there's no arguing with me with that. Because I'm not going to argue back and forth with you. Like, my ancestors built this country. So I don't care about being indigenous to it. With my, the whole saying, if you feed a baby long enough, it's going to look like you. This is what it is with my ancestors. So I've gotten really far back through my maternal line. But like I said, there was some things that were spiritually revealed to me to where I'm like, okay, I've gotten far back from my great, great, great grandmother. And, surprise, surprise, just oral stories, the true oral stories have been being revealed to me. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to go back like even further because I know all I need to know at this point. So I'm saying all that to say, the only reason why I took the test was because of the stories that I found out. I wanted to make sure I did not go back to Europe. Okay, my maternal lineage did not go back to Europe from some other place. So now I know that I originate from the Fulani and Yoruba tribes. Do I feel like I have some type of spiritual revelation? No, not really, because I know who I am. I've created a healthy identity for myself despite all of the things that I've been through. in my life, and I really wholeheartedly believe that of course you're always going to evolve, but the woman that I am right now as I'm recording this video, this is who I was always meant to be. Of course, I know, like I said earlier, that I'm always going to evolve. I'm always going to grow and develop in my life. But my philosophical beliefs, I guess you can call them my religious beliefs, cultural beliefs, this is really who I am. Okay, this is really who I am. And I don't have any urge at this point to learn any traditional, African traditional religion, what we know now to be African traditional religions, because it just may be a bit cocky, okay, what I'm about to say, but I believe that what I live by and what I believe and what I know at this point in my life, that is the original African traditional religion. So I don't feel like I have to go through any other, I don't want to name any groups or whatever, because I have family members who are part of those certain ATRs. And this is a real cool thing that happened. So after I took the test, I sent it off to some of my cousins through that maternal side, who I knew would probably care about it. And one of them, he's a Babalawo of ATR, so that's why I don't want to be disrespectful about ATRs. I don't have anything against ATRs. I don't at all. But I know that I'm not going to learn any of that at this. It's just not going to happen. So I text him and I let him know. Of course, he was so happy because he is a for real Babalawo. Okay, and one of the ATRs that he's a for real legit Babalawo of is from one of the tribes that I named, that I found out that I was a part of. Y'all had to excuse me, I got something in my contact. But I don't know what is it. But he was very excited because, of course, that means that for him and his family, they're definitely in the right place. So, people telling him he was crazy, and I think he's in like his 70s. So he's been on this for a long time. So imagine back then living that way. People think you just as mental basket and maniac. So he was very excited about that. And he also sent me a picture and he said, oh my God, cuz, this company is really legit. And he sent me a picture. I don't know, maybe it was from a couple of years ago. And they were at this African club. And it was African night. And they had Africans who, immigrants or first generation, they came up to him and his family and his children. And some of my, because they're all my family, right? And they came up to them, those African sisters came up to them and they asked them, were they Fulani? And they were like, because they honestly didn't know then. And so they really thought, those African sisters really thought that they were Fulani, and they were right. And when my cousin sent me that picture, after I sent him the results, they look the same. Okay, so I will say this about my physical features. Even though my mom's lineage is Fulani and Yoruba, I didn't get those features. You may see it like maybe just kind of up around like here and at the eyes, but below the eyes, I don't have any Fulani features at all. Because the crazy thing about it is my mom, she's the only, no, she got another sister, but it's not, that other sister got a different mom. From my mom, okay, and my mom's sister through her mom, you could tell they sisters, but they have two totally different facial features and physique. So the women through my line, like Fulani women are, they're very svelte. So it's like that skinny, foxy, sexy, thick, and it's very slim nose. They have the thin lips. My mom did not get that. So she inherited her body from her dad's side of the family. So they have the big juicy lips, okay, which I'm very thankful for, because people, the type of lips that I have, you can't even imitate it with fillers. So if you try to, you'll look like a bozo. So I'm very, very happy for that. And I remember my grandma telling me a long time ago, she was just like, you got them lips like your grandpa. And I just wish I had some lips like that. I just wish I had. I remember her telling me that. So I got my body from my grandfather's side of the family. Because my mom is she's a brick house. But my aunt and my grandmother and all of them, they not like that. So, and a lot of those ancestors that I was telling y'all about, I have pictures of them. So I know how they looked. And they, thankfully for me, the further back I go, my people, they was the dark-skinned Fulani Yoruba. They didn't have like the color that I am now. And I'm not light-skinned at all. Okay, I am unambiguously black, but they were significantly darker than I am now. And I'm very thankful for that. So I'm saying all that to say is that company, African Ancestry DNA, is legit. My cousins, they look just like those people. I'm not gonna put the picture up there, but they look just like those Fulani people who walked up to them because, surprise, surprise, we are Fulani. Okay. And so it's just interesting to know that. And, a part of me wants to learn, I have to do more research on the Fulani culture, the Fulani tribes, the Yoruba language, the languages and things like that. But it's more so of a compliment to who I am now. And I'm very thankful for this knowledge. I'm extremely thankful for it. But y'all know, I do my Neville Goddard stuff, and he is not my God, and he is not my savior. But I forgot which lecture it was from. But Neville Goddard definitely talks about why you should start from where you're at when it comes to genealogy. But I get it. If you're an American descendant of chattel slavery, okay, you want to know that, well, for the most part, people want to know that information about genealogy. But at this point, I think I got all I need to know. Maybe I'll have my dad test so I can know from my paternal side where that comes from. But other than that, just kind of continuing on for where I'm at, because it is what it is when it comes to, I'm trying to maintain as much privacy I can without telling all my business, but I literally have to start from where I am when it comes to genealogy and going forward from there. But it's just good to know that Fulani and Yoruba tribes. And so it just kind of brings me back to, and I already know now, because the tribes have come to me, that I know that origin is going to come to me in a dream, because that's how God reveals things to me, is when I'm in a dream state. And I just had this crazy, just as an aside, y'all, I had this crazy dream last night. So like, I had a dream. It was so, I'm talking about, it showed me exactly which land, like the land that I had, what was around me, all of that, which parish in Louisiana that this land was in. So I was very excited about that dream, even though I was like, why am I having this dream? Because some people appeared in that dream that I didn't want to be in that dream. But, everything happens for a reason for me when I really get into the dream state. And so those people needed to be there in that dream. So, yeah, your girl Queen is Fulani and Yoruba. So I'm like, dang, do I need to learn? So I don't even know what you would call the Fulani language at this point. Yoruba, of course, that is just the name of the tribe, is the name of the language. And yeah, y'all, hold on, let me show y'all my veil, which is on point. Okay. But yeah, eventually I'm going to learn those languages just to see what I can activate within myself epigenetically by learning those languages, and just continue going forward in life, and just just doing my thing, y'all. So I don't want to ramble on and on. It's a 15-minute video. Thank y'all so much for watching. So it's Queen. Y'all know y'all girl, my origins. Even though my origin is from God, okay? But Fulani and Yoruba tribe.